Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads from GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast, this time direct from Boston for PAX East 2013. Right here I have my friend Cory, who was also at PAX East 2013 with me, and we're going to talk about what we saw. Let me ask you, first off, what were you most excited going into this year's show to see?
I don't really know. Probably just to buy Luigi's Mansion. To be completely honest. When I heard about that, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do at PAX.
To buy Luigi's Mansion one day early?
Yes.
Fair enough. But I will tell you that while Nintendo did open a mini Nintendo World store at the corner of their booth, that morning the line to get Luigi's Mansion was just, it looped back on itself like 18 times and didn't move really, and it just boggled my mind that people were standing in this line to buy either Luigi's Mansion or Pokemon Dungeon, or you could actually get also the new Pikachu 3DS XL. But the line was just ridiculous. But then later in the day I swung by and the line was still ridiculous, but then even later still in the day I swung by again and the line was much shorter. And so I tweeted Cory and told him, hey, the line is a lot shorter now. So we went over and got our copies of Luigi's Mansion.
And Pokemon.
He got Pokemon. I don't care about Pokemon so much. It's not even a real Pokemon game.
It's real enough, okay?
So then if you weren't excited to see anything, did you see anything that you became excited about?
Yeah.
Or was it just to get Luigi's Mansion?
No. On Friday, me and a group of friends went to the Supergiant Games booth, and we sat in line for like an hour and a half. It was horrible. But we got to play the demo for Transistor, and it was pretty cool. Like, standing in line, they have this giant screen showing like most of the demo, but it's just like a repeat. And so, like, watching it, I was just like, okay, I don't really know if I'm going to be into this because it's already getting on my nerves. Because, like, the whole thing is that I guess she was a singer, or like an opera singer or something, and then her voice is stolen, and she was going to be assassinated. I'm not really entirely sure, but then she wakes up in some other place, and she finds a talking sword that can communicate with dead people, but the sword is pretty much like the narrator from Bastion, and except he talks way more. So just, like, I was standing in line and all I heard was, like, the sword talking nonstop, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so annoying. But actually playing it and the things that he says to kind of guide you places, it was really cool.
That's the problem with PAX East, is the lines. Like, I, as media, get appointments with some developers, so like I can go to a special place where, not on the show floor, to check out Square Enix games, or I will go to a special room in their booth, like with Bethesda, to check out Elder Scrolls Online, and so, or I can just cut lines like I do it. They push me to the front of the line at Ubisoft to watch the, Assassin's Creed 4 video or something. So, like, that's great. But then there's other games, like Capcom has Remember Me, a playable demo of Remember Me, and I'm kind of interested in that game, and I would like to try that game myself, but the line is humongous, and the problem is that it's also a really long demo, because the line didn't look that long, and I went to get in it, and this guy in front of me was, like, asking, like, okay, where did the line go, and the line, like, went into the booth, so the line itself wasn't terribly long, but she said that the demo was, like, 20 minutes, so from where I was standing, it was going to be about an hour wait, and I'm like, I have an appointment in half an hour, so I'll come back, maybe. I did get lucky, because Sony had The Last of Us, and that line wrapped completely around the booth, and it was just insane, but because they have a special media hour where just media is allowed on the show floor, and they don't let the fans in until 10, so I got in line for that, like, at 10 as they were opening the doors, so I only had to wait about, like, 15 minutes before the next batch got in, and I got in the next batch, and that game impressed the hell out of me. I already knew that game was probably going to be really awesome, but that really, really just blew me away. I mean, there's still some glitches in it, but whatever. It's still really, really pretty, and I just like the whole concept of it. It just looks great. For me, the surprise for me was this tiny little independent Vita game called Tearaway, which was just the most beautiful thing I'd seen. It's everything in the game world is made of papercraft, and you're this little character whose head is an envelope, and you have a message that you have to get to somebody, and it's basically you go on this adventure to deliver this message, and it just looks stunning. So, like, I was like, where did this come from? This is kind of awesome looking. I love this. Was there anything that you saw that looked like that you suddenly became disappointed by?
Not so much me. My friend went to the Remember Me one, and she's like, I'm super excited, there's female protagonist, she looks awesome, and then she got in the line, it was like a 2-hour wait, and she's like, I guess it moved a bit faster though, but like after she came out, she's just like, well, the only thing I can really say about it is that it's a video game. Like, it just...
Oh, that's a shame.
There wasn't anything that really interested her, but I guess they didn't have the memory sequences where, like, you rearrange...
Oh, see, but that's the whole point.
Yeah. So it was just, like...
regular combat
yeah.
and stuff.
And... yeah.
Because the memory sequences is, like, the whole heart of the game. Like, that's the interesting new gameplay that you'd want to try out. I also have to say, I was a little sad this year. This year I actually did not... The line to play Dance Central at the Microsoft booth was also kind of long, and I didn't feel like waiting in it, because I don't like waiting in lines, because it frustrates me at something like PAX East to, like, wait in line for something, because you're standing there waiting in line, and you can still see everything else going on around you, and you're just like, I could be doing all these other things, but I'm just standing still.
Yeah.
But you're standing still and street passing. Like... I street passed like hundreds and hundreds of people this weekend, and it was pretty awesome.
I came here with like 75 street passes that I had previously from Chicago Comic-Con, and now I'm over like 500 or something. It's crazy.
And I got style-savvy street passes left and right. I've had like 20 style-savvy street passes. It's fantastic, because I never street pass people playing style-savvy back home. But here, lots of people are playing style-savvy, so yay, style-savvy. But I didn't play Dance Central, but it's always fun to watch. I prefer to hang out by the Dance Central stage, because they also have a rock band stage, but I'd rather watch people dancing than listen to people butcher songs, personally. So I saw the two cutest little kids dancing to Gangnam Style, and they drew a humongous crowd of people who gave them huge standing ovation when they were done, big cheers. It was only a little awkward when they were doing the pelvic thrusting move, because they were so little, but it was still really funny and adorable. And props to them for getting the moves right. The other thing I wanted to mention is the very first thing that I went to see, as soon as the media day started on the very first day, the media hour, I went straight for Nintendo, and I'm like, show me Animal Crossing. Unfortunately, it was not a playable demo. A guy literally just stood there and played the game. And it projected on a big screen so that you could see, and he was like explaining all the stuff that you could do and everything. And because I've been trying to avoid a lot of spoilers, some of it was slightly new information. I think it's pretty awesome that whether you play a boy or a girl, you can wear whatever clothes, because the clothes are identified as boy clothes or girl clothes, but you can buy whatever you want and wear whatever you want. I expect to see tons and tons of cross-dressing in Animal Crossing, and that would be like super fun. And if we sound a little hoarse, I know I sound a little hoarse, it's because last night was the Gay Gamer meetup at Fritz, and it was super fun, and everybody came out, we had a great time, and now it's on to the final day of PAX to see whatever we didn't get to see yet, and I'll see you here next week. Thanks to Cory for sharing my room and hanging out at PAX with me and being in my podcast as my special guest. Say goodbye to the folks, Cory.
Bye.
Bye. I'll see you next week.